What a time is it here, man? Fucking 5:50 here. No, 7:50. I figured I'd try this for a fucking half hour and see what the fuck happens. One of these weird ass things. Going live. Don't even know what the fuck we're gonna talk about, but whatever. How do people even message on one of these motherfuckers? Let's see if anyone shows up. Fuck, here it goes. Boring as hell, but I don't know if these things save or how it fucking works with your, I don't know, goddamn, shit, this is weird as fuck. Anyways, I'm not sure how these things fucking save. It's something to bullshit about just in case they do, because I was, recently got this, Cryptic Fog, man. Finally got some copies of my own. Been fucking forever. I've got limited ones, but anyways, a recap about the fucking that album particularly is back in the day, people said the songs were too fucking long. I mean, they were long for a reason, and partially was, I didn't set out to intentionally write long songs, but I liked to write. It gave me a lot of room to, uh, you know, put a lot of different influences into something, and I like that. It gave me more flexibility. And I know most people don't fucking dig that, and I get why it wasn't. It's selective type of people that can actually sit through it. Another thing was I didn't when I played a riff or wrote a riff back in those days. I played it till I played a riff and in the song until I was satisfied. Like so, it fucking drones on for a while, but that's just how I felt. And actually, everybody in the band did, back then too. We started it that way. It's just we played things as many times as we felt that we liked. And we didn't give a fuck what anybody else thought. Uh, Anybody that likes doom music or Burzum is a great example. Burzum has some droning shit, and I've always liked that. You just get lost in the riff, even though it's repetitive, and it's a certain vibe to that style. And I mean, Cryptic Fog, we were doing that, but we had a more, a heavy, brutal death metal, technical influence in there with it, with many different uh, influences. And I mean, a band that you could probably kind of compare us to, and similarly, that does something like that would be the band like the Chasm. And not that back in the days of Cryptic Fog, I knew who the Chasm were, but I wasn't familiar with their music. So it wasn't like, oh, we're going to be like this band, we're going to be like that band. And we had no intention of any of that. We had our influences, and we were going to do it. I mean, uh, so that was the idea. We were just some fucking misfit kids, that street kids, all came from like pretty broken homes and shit, and we all had like fucking addictions, and we are just some fucking misfits, man. You ever seen the movie The Razor's Edge? We were kind of a lot like those kids. No one ended up killing their girlfriend, thankfully, but a lot of the guys that I knew went to jail. Fucking some of them never saw again. Yeah, but we come from like just pretty much street kids with rough, shitty backgrounds. And we all had a love for passion for extreme underground, underground and extreme metal, music. So, we all knew each other from high school, and we ended up just everyone so happened to play a fucking instrument, and we got together, and we were passionate about the bands we listened to and grew up with, and we formed a fucking band. That's just what happened, and we had various different members, but going back to it, I mean, we had multiple influences of just old and new. I would say, like, you know, if you took Vital Remains, their style of writing. You take a band like Merciful Fate, that style of writing. Uh, you know, Dissection, Bathory. Oh man, and then there's like the '80s death, black and thrash stuff, and then there was the stuff that was coming out in the early 2000s. You know, the Nile and the Hate Eternal and that type of shit, and you're infusing that with, like, you know, melody, and you know we were influenced by traditional heavy metal, you know, so it's a pretty wild fucking thing we were doing, and it's a hard band to grasp. Let's see, I got somebody saying hello. Hey, Mr. Metalhead from Warrior from New York, man. Hey, dude, good to see you, man. And that's I'm fucking around with one of these lives, the first time me doing this. So I figured I'll give it a shot, man. But thanks for chiming in. Looks like somebody, Shreddy Krueger, man, cool fucking name, dude. Man, I heard some of your songs on Cattle Prod channel, very good shit. Hey man, thank you, dude. Fuck yeah, good to see you here, man. Fuck yeah. Oh, so word's getting out, man. That was hell yeah. It's Cattle Prod. Yeah, I saw him up at the Dead by Dog Fest, and he started his channel up like, it was like 3 months ago. Well, back in March or something. Been a few months anyways, and there's nobody on there, and the channel just blew up all of a sudden. Fucking cool. So like, and I saw him instantly at the meet and greet, and I was like, holy shit, I know who that is, and so that was cool, man. I got to hang out and bullshit with him, and yeah, met a lot of good people that way, and a few people knew who the fuck I was, and I was really shocked. I really was. I'm like, god damn. Cheers, man. I'm glad you dug it, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm just thought I'd do one of these lives, give it a shot. I see a lot of people do them. A little odd, but fucking cool, man. It's good to see people in here. Wow, really, that's awesome. But I was just giving a rundown about my first band, Cryptic Fog, and it's way different from the Ghoulish Grin stuff. It's the songs are much longer. If you go to the band camp, you can hear some of the shit. But there's a lot of dissection influence. But we wrote a lot of the songs in like a Vital Remains type of way, and what I mean is they're fucking long. They're really long. So one song off our first record, Path of the Withering Moon's 15 minutes. Now, if you can sit through that, good luck, man. Not many people can. We used to play it live. It was one cool thing about that whole record, Path of the Withering Moon. If you look at it on Bandcamp, it's all, the guitar work's all down picked. I kid you not. I didn't, other than the double picking, speed picking riffs, everything's down picked, even the fucking clean arpeggiated riffs. So back in the day, I didn't know how to. I actually did not know how to down or alternate pick. I didn't know how to do it. I thought all death metal bands played down picking. I thought people were just that good. I thought players were that fucking good. I had no idea. And then when I learned how to alternate pick, it never sounded the same. I was like, these cheating motherfuckers. I was like, I just thought everybody was just a better guitar player than me. And I mean, I really legitimately thought that. I thought like the guys in Nile, the fucking, like all the big bands, like every death metal band, I thought they all downpicked all the technical crazy riffs. So it didn't sound as crazy to me after that. I had to relearn how to listen to the underground shit, because I don't know, it's just because like when I first recorded that, my buddy that was recording us, he's like, dude, you're down picking all that shit. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you don't know how to alternate pick? And I'm like, no. He's like, what's that? Because I didn't grow up with the internet. I didn't grow up with any guitar teachers, so I just did everything the fucking hard way. I was like, no. He's like, dude, no, you're fucking, that's fucking killer. I'm like, well, thanks, man. You know, that's kind of how I feel about these YouTube guitars. The crazy good ones are all over the place on here now. The crazy good ones are on all. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a lot. There's definitely a lot of fucking stuff on YouTube, which is cool, really cool. I mean, you could learn a lot. You know, I had to, you know, back in the day, I went to the library and I would find like a guitar magazine and I would look at the back of it for any information, you know, and of course you have to be able to understand what the fuck that is. And me being a young kid, a lot of it, I don't, what the fuck's this? You know, you didn't have any money for anyone to show you. You're like, you know, pay for a guitar teacher. So you had to figure shit out. It took a long time. But one note, I mean, on the plus side of that, I think it builds some type of grit and some type of a uniqueness to your playing. I could say, if that sort of, I could be wrong, but not to say that. Now I think a kid that who has talent and ability, man, could pick it up a lot quicker, which is also a good thing. So maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but yeah, I mean, it is really cool that there's a lot of videos. I mean, even if you want to learn to play a song, I mean, any band, and back in the day, death metal wasn't like there's no tab book, you couldn't find anybody like how to do any of the techniques, any of the riffing. The luckiest I was able to do is there's this little guitar store in my area that I went down there, and I asked one of the guys. I was like, hey, how? I was desperate. I was like, because I was really trying to learn how to double pick, the speed pick and stuff, and I didn't know how to do it. I just could not figure it out. I was like, how the fuck does Slayer, an Angel of Death, get that sound, or Deicide get that sound? And so I went up there and I asked him about I didn't know how to read tablature, and I was like, how much would it cost me to, to teach me how to read tabs? Because I had no idea. And he just opened up a tab. I heard the word tabs, but I never actually knew what a fucking tab book was. And he opened one up and he showed me, and it was like 2 seconds, like, oh, cool. And then I was like, is there any way I could get a Slayer tab book? And he's like, no, man, but I could order you one. And it took like a couple months for it to fucking get in. And I was really excited when I first got that. That was like my first start to learning how to play. But I still didn't know how to double pick. There is no one explaining to me the tab book how to do the techniques. So when I opened up Angel of Death, I see all these fucking zeros, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I've talked about this before, but this is actually how I learned how to like double pick, speed pick, because I really wanted to do it. That's death metal. That's what it's fucking about. So. And I was like, well, what the fuck are all these zeros? How the fuck am I supposed to do that? And then somehow I just put two and two together, man. I just started fucking doing it. I figured it out, and luckily, and I was determined. I was fucking determined. I mean, I think anybody that likes this music or wants to play, or you gotta determine. For some people though, this shit comes a lot easier too. I could definitely see that. I had to really try for it, but I'm not a naturally given talented person. I'm just really passionate about this shit. Just love to fucking play it. But yeah, man. Yep, exactly. Once you figure out the frets and numbers and strings, yep. Yeah, and everything else. Yeah, you just keep fucking around with it. Like, I didn't know what hammer-on pull-off was, but I actually kind of already had that technique down. Because when you read it, what the fuck does that even mean? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. And in the books, in the tab books, there's nothing to explain it, how to do those techniques. And I just got lucky just from out. I was a poor kid, so all I had was a guitar, So I just spent hours every day after school with it, every fucking chance I got learning how to fucking play when I was a kid. That's all I did, I wore the fuck out of my first electric guitar. I don't even have it anymore. And my Warlock I still have to this day. I bought when I was 15. I still have that motherfucker. Actually, I had to have the neck sanded down because it was so black. It was like engraved into the fucking wood from playing so much. I don't play like that anymore. I wish I did. I still had the time to do that, but I'm glad I did all those years ago. I wouldn't be the man. And if I had to learn how to get to do it all over again, I fucking wouldn't. Hell no. But yeah, what are we coming up here for? Like 15 minutes? Well, this has been pretty cool, man. Yeah, man, check out my other band if you're interested, dude. Cryptic Fog, if you haven't already heard it. When I'm planning on doing, with Ghoulish Grin, I'm definitely stripping away from the long songwriting, and mainly what it is like a more straightforward version of Cryptic Fog. Or like the Cryptic Fog had a lot of brutal elements to it, very extreme elements. I'm pretty much just narrowing that down in Ghoulish Grin. That's the idea with this band. Shorter songs and just the brutality. Cryptic Fog had a lot of melody, a lot of clean, intricate parts, but a lot of brutal shit too. It's a lot of Scandinavian death metal, black metal influence mixed with Tampa influence, and then the shit from the early 2000s. The real extreme fast stuff. What were or are some of your main influences, favorite guitarists? Oh, that's a good question, man. Okay, well, that's a good question. Some my main influences. Well, there's old ones and there's new ones. What I mean by old, like you mean like I got the stuff that when I was a kid when I first started. Not to bore you, but my main influences. What got me into music was AC/DC. That was my first, and then came Black Sabbath. And I mean, they're just all these bands are very important to me. Ozzy Osbourne, Alice Cooper, The Doors, Jethro Tull. Like some of those are like really important, but like the one that got more into the heavy stuff was AC/DC, Sabbath, Ozzy, Alice Cooper, and that's what I started with. And I heard Metallica, and then Metallica, Megadeth. Oh, you're saying favorite guitarist? Well, those are my early influences when I first started getting into music. But as far as this music goes, what I'm playing now, okay, this might be more specific here, like death metal, black metal. Oh God, there's so many. But Slayer, for definitely, man. Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman for sure, huge influences. The Hoffman brothers from Deicide, both of them, especially the first two records. I love Once Upon a Cross too, man. Those are people don't talk about them as lead players, the Hoffman brothers, but their fucking solos are like, especially on the first two records, but definitely the first record, man. Those solos are fucking insane. Remind me a lot of like it's like Rain and Blood solos on fucking crack. I don't know, they're just crazy. So Trey Azagoth, of course. I mean, his playing. Why that's an obvious influence for me. When I first heard Morbid Angel, my few of my early bands that I really liked were Slayer and Merciful Fate, and I'll tell you what, Morbid Angel sounds a lot like that. I mean, most people not be able to pick that out, but I can really hear the fucking Slayer influence, and especially if you listen to Covenant, you listen to the first early records, you can hear the Slayer influence, and I'm a big fan of that shit. Also, yeah, Hank Sherman and Michael Denner, also big influences. Those bluesy old school way of playing, I like that because that kind of amps up my early influences from AC/DC and Tony Iommi and those guys. So Merciful Fate was like a step up, and I heard them. Well, I heard them a little bit before I heard Slayer, and I liked them so much because Merciful Fate to me was a step up from the bands like AC/DC, the stuff from the 70s. Merciful Fate was a much heavier, more extreme version of that shit. That's what I thought. I was like, this is a crazier Black Sabbath, when I first heard it. And then I heard Slayer, of course, so amped it up. I get to heard like the early versions of extreme metal. So like Morbid Angel, definitely. When I first heard that, if you listen to the slow stuff that Morbid Angel does, a lot of it reminds me of Merciful Fate, like their slower riffs. I just can hear it in there. And so yeah, fucking Trey Azagoth, the Hoffman brothers, Michael Denner, Hank Sherman. Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman, Mantis from fucking Venom. That's another one, man. His lead playing and his riffs, and he's got some really like I like eccentric guitar players. Randy Rhoads is of course a very eccentric, one of my favorites. Like, what's funny enough is Trey Azagoth is one of my favorite guitar players in death metal, but his idol is Eddie Van Halen, and it's like I don't like Eddie Van Halen at all. But I like Randy Rhoads. I hear a lot of Deicide and Immolation. Oh yeah, dude, yeah. Immolation's definitely definitely another big influence of mine. That dude's I always get his name mixed up. I think it's Bob. His playing is very eccentric, very also abstract, but he's got like a bit of I want to say like a black metal sound to him. I don't know if anybody ever picks that up, but I do with those weird dissonant chords he does, and his riffs aren't really technical, but very complex. They're if that makes sense. Uh, his playing is off the fucking wall. And you know what's funny is Immolation was not very popular when I got into them. They're kind of an underdog in the early 2000s. And I know, you know, I'm from that era, you know, the early 2000s. But it was when I got into death metal. So like, they were just coming up with Unholy Cult, and they weren't like, it wasn't talked about like they are now. You know, they're fucking huge now, and it was like that for a long time. I want to say maybe they didn't start getting more notoriety until maybe about 2012, 2013, maybe. Um, but yeah, definitely, man. They're fucking brutal, black, and yeah, they definitely have that vibe to them. Very heavy, dark, man. Oh man, and they've always had good drummers too. They've always had really very progressive, or not progressive, like percussive, very percussive drummers with lots of their fill-ins, and their drummers don't get enough credit. I mean, and the thing about Immolation, it's not always been about speed, but it's the attack and the execution, man. With all the musicianship in that band, it's fucking incredible. They're a band that has not released a bad record, in my opinion. You could pick any one of them up and find some kind of enjoyment. Of course, the first album I fucking love. I love those vocals, and yes, Bather is another fucking huge influence, man. That style of just raw aggression, and to me, like really the forefront of like black metal. Like, I mean, they started it. But his solos, his vocals, and just the attack and the aggression, man. I love Battery. Big fucking influence, definitely for sure. Corathon's one of my favorite guitar players ever. His it's not so much as like his solos. He may not be the craziest guitar player, but that's what I like about him is his execution, man. There's a lot of it's all feeling and no technique. But if you could pull that off, see if you could pull off not having technique, but feeling and being able to do it good. I mean, like that's a rare thing. You can't just yeah, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, those are just many. I can keep going on to like so many guitar players I love, man. I like weird riffs that are both weird and cool sounding stuff that brings something to the imagination. Yes, definitely, man. Opens up your mind a bit. I love dissonant shit. If you like, man, I'm sure you got to check out a band called Suffering Hour. They were also they put out an album on the same label I was on Blood Harvest with Cryptic Fog. Look up Suffering Hour. They've got weird, abstract, cool riffs, but that makes sense. They're not just shooting in the wind playing fucking bullshit. They're actually dissonant, weird. It's black death metal, but it's really good. Look up Suffering Hour if you guys haven't checked them out. Really fucking cool. Actually, a band that I don't think that gets enough notoriety for what they were doing. If you can go back in their back catalog, try to find the album from 2017. Just look them up. Suffering Hour, Bandcamp. Look for the record on 2017. Yeah, if you like really cool abstract shit. But it's dark, it's heavy, it's raw. It's really good. You're definitely missing out if yeah. But fuck yeah, man. Well, yeah, those are just a few influences I could talk all night about because there's so many bands I like, and for all different reasons and some of the similar ones, like Jean Navit from Dissection, one of my other all-time favorite fucking guitar players, man. God damn, that shit was like, I don't care if they only put out 2 records, man. I mean, that is some of the best I think like metal in general ever written. I mean, just in my opinion, those albums fucking, and maybe they just blow me away. Maybe because it has an epicness like Metallica, because I was a big early Metallica fan. That was I mean, who the fuck wasn't? I mean, I'm sure there was some people that weren't, but I was, and I felt always like Dissection had that feeling that of writing, not so much the music, but the fucking epicness of like that old heavy metal, spirit, and done well, along with the fucking evil black metal and the really depressive dark melodies, and it's just a great blend. One of my favorite, John Novit's one of my favorite guitar players. They were a band called Dark Castle. They kind of have a unique feel to them, kind of experimental, posty doom band, a 2-piece. No, I haven't, but I will check them out. Dark Castle. Got a fucking pen here, actually. I'll forget. My memory is not the best, man. Fucking. Thanks, man. Yeah. Okay, I'll check it out. Actually, speaking of, I had a Death Doom project, man. One of my biggest. If you're curious or if you're interested, there's no vocals in it, but one of my biggest fucking regrets is not finishing it. I didn't. The vocalist I had, he moved away. We were gonna finish. We started a recording. We recorded the guitars and the drums, and he moved away, and I just never. Shit end up happening. I just ever got back around to doing it. Maybe someday I'll finish it. But if you're interested, it was my only Death Doom thing that I did, and it was I'm pretty proud of it. I mean, it's long and droning because it's a fucking Death Doom style, but on my channel here, Merkstav, look, it's in one of the playlists. You could probably find it, or in one of the videos, Merkstav, M-E-R-S-T, wait, M-E-R-K-S-T-A-V. It's on the channel here, so go back to my videos. It says Death Doom from 2016. It's just an unfinished project, but yeah. Okay. Definitely have to set up an interview with you soon. Working on more production. Yeah, man. Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. Well, yeah, hit me up. We'll do. Got to do it. Just give me enough heads of time, because schedules and shit. But dude, I'd love to, man. Thank you. Yeah. Oh man, I've watched some of your interviews, at least one of them I saw on Fomorian you did. I want one of Shred's lives, dude. I just love what you had to fucking say, man. You definitely lived it. You've seen it. You know this music, and you're a true supporter of it, man. And passionate about it. Like that's what this music's about. And someone you've been there, like way before my generation. You're one of the old school cats, and I fucking mad respect. I really admire that, and I love that. And I love what you had to fucking say, man. Support your fucking local underground. Check out the stuff that's not, being heard, And that's kind of like also what I'm trying to do, with music. My channel a bit is talk about shit that doesn't really, people don't really talk about too much. So I bring up my influences, but I try not to talk too much about them because we all don't know about these bands, Morbid Angel, Nile, fucking Deicide, but I'm passionate about that shit. But there's a ton of other good stuff out there that like I was just mentioning, Suffering Hour, man. They're fucking damn really underrated, overlooked, actually just unknown. But yeah, man. Cheers to Mr. Metalhead Warrior, dude. Fucking appreciate you too, man. You're a good brother, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting off here in a couple more minutes. I figured I'd just give this shit a fucking try, man. It was a little weird at first because you're just sitting here looking at yourself in a camera, so strange, very strange, but fucking cool. It's all worth to talk to you fine people, man. Fuck yeah. Shreddy Krueger, you I'm assuming you play guitar, right? If you're still there. Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, cool, man. I'll have to check it out, man. You got is it just your channel here, Shreddy Krueger? Is that your thing? I'm bad with all this because people have commented and not out of disrespect. Like I don't always know if they got a channel or nothing. I just I'm usually message back. I don't always check. And even okay, cool. I'll check that out. No, I don't think that's Trevor. It's Shreddy Krueger. You're thinking of that Shreddy Krueger. I don't know who that is. Well, cool. Well, is it? Is that Trevor? I'm all over the place musically, not particularly metal. Okay, man. Well, hey, I appreciate different types of someone that plays music and they're passionate about it. You know, that's what I appreciate that. You know, I can't say that I listen to all types of music, but I'm more from a rock background. Oh no, he's not. I'm nobody named Trevor. Yeah, I'm more from like a. So I always go back to rock. I like some classical music, uh, but as far as like different styles, not too much. I don't ever really stir from anything that goes back. I always go back to rock music for me, which kind of sucks. I've tried to get. If I try to get into something else, I'd probably be a poser. But it's always cool to see someone play something crazy. And some of them jazz guitar players are fucking insane. Fucking wicked insane. But some of the fucking jam band motherfuckers can do that, like Buckethead and some of those type of dudes are crazy, or those fucking soloists. Now I do like Yngwie, man, old Yngwie. I have to say that fucking love watching him play. More like watching him play than listening to him. Watching him play, rather than listen. His records are good, but I actually see him actually play stuff on videos is just incredible. Yeah, man. That's what got me into where I'm at now musically is rock. That's what going back to AC/DC, and I just kept wanting to hear something heavier because my stepfather I grew up with when I was a kid, rest in peace. He had a huge collection of classic rock. All the stuff in this. I don't even know if he would call that in the '90s, but he had everything. He had Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. He had Bob Dylan. He had all the the folky shit, that was popular. But then he had some of the heavier stuff, and I just gravitated towards that. He started playing. When it came to he played the Doors, and I was like, oh, this is good. And he played some Jethro Tull, but then he played fucking AC/DC, and I was like, wow. And then he turned me on to some, there's Alice Cooper. Like, I like the heavier shit out of his collection, and then I gravitated into metal. It just kind of set me on my path. Musically, more of a Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Andy James type of guy. Right on, man. No, those guys are fucking insane too. Something about Yngwie I just like. Maybe because he also comes from more of a, I don't know, just he I feel like he really set the standard and started. I mean, not to say he was the only one that did that, but he really turned some fucking heads. I feel like he kind of like got it really going, if you know what I mean. Not to say that those guys weren't doing it, but his style does get boring a bit though, because it is the same fucking thing over and over again. I mean, he's just playing the same type of scales and shit. It's all classic, neoclassical, and after a while it gets a bit boring to listen to. I ain't gonna lie there. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is like his signature. That is a cool thing about it. And at the same time, like I was saying, it gets boring depending on what records. Because I like the early records, and then some of the stuff in the '90s, it's hit or miss what album they'll listen to. But because it all eventually it sounds the same. But some of his playing he's a damn fine guitar player, fucking nuts. I mean, I can't do any of that shit. I like what they call the legato style. Now, funny enough, my lead playing is like somewhat inspired by that, but I didn't know that was a style. Now, I can't do it like he fucking can. Like not even a fucking, that dude he's a perfectionist. I gotta hand it to him. Like someone that can play that like is just perfection like that is just untouched. That's hard to do, and you don't see that much in death metal. And there's nothing wrong with that either, But I would say bands that Nile are some fucking top notch dudes. Those guys are incredible players. They can play it right to a fucking T. Oh yeah, Steeler. It's like his earlier bands. Yeah, Steeler's fucking killer. Yep. Steelers dude. Steelers good. I don't actually have it. I have his other band Alcatraz. I got a little bit of that. That was some cool, weird shit that he did. It's cool, yeah, because he did a few other bands before he was like just straight up Yngwie, Yeah, and also if you can find any of his like demos, like the Yngwie demos, fuck, that shit's cool too. And I like that he's always kind of used the same
equipment. He hasn't ever changed. He's always used, a Strat and like an old Marshall and just a fucking overdrive or whatever the fuck. And his guitar tone is actually he only uses one guitar track too, from my understanding, on a lot of his recordings, which I think is just cool. It's just his guitar plugged in, and it's not double tracked. I think so. Yeah, Alcatraz. Yeah, I got the Alcatraz live on vinyl, an old one. Yeah, fucking killer, man. All right. Uh, you know what, man, guys? I not the. This has been awesome bullshit, man. I don't really got any more for you. I'm gonna jet out of here. I kind of want to go out and have a smoke. To be honest with you. Well, I guess I could take this outside with me. Fuck it. If you guys feel like bullshitting still, it's up to y'all. Let me know. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go outside for a minute. Ugh. Oh yeah, man. Likewise, man. Looking badass. It's cool talking to people, man. I enjoy it very much so. Like-minded individuals, or similar interests. Um, I don't, outside of work and just doing the same shit every day. I don't really talk to many people. This, what we all have in common here, which is fucking awesome. When I was a kid, we did it all the time. It felt like, I was fortunate enough to have a pretty big group of friends to hang out with when I was in high school. There was like 20 of us, and my house was the party house. So all my friends came over to, we'd get drunk, smoke cigarettes, have sex with their girlfriends, or whatever the fuck, do drugs, all the naughty stuff. But we'd fucking play. We'd all be in my garage playing, Um, and I miss that. We don't have that interaction anymore. We'd all go to shows together. If my buddy's band played, we played, or it was just pretty fucking. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fucking fun. I miss it. Yeah. But those were the days. But I mean, you get older, you just kind of settle down. You know, I could, and if I didn't, I'd probably be shit. I don't want to be that guy sleeping on his sister's couch or something, in his 50s. And I've known guys like that, which is nothing wrong, but I just don't want to, didn't want to do that. So you conform and, settle down, but it is what it is. I do miss those days. I cherish those fucking old memories, though. Taking it outside though is like crazy. I don't think I've other than the oh yeah, the fest I did a live outside with on Shredbeard's channel. That was interesting. We went into the Hell's Headbanger studio. That was actually or warehouse. That was really cool. Oh yeah, Metalhead Warrior, man. You know what? Yeah, you get it. I bet you, man. You being I think New York. You probably had probably a fucking big crew of guys hanging out with all the time. See, I live close to Chicago, but it's I mean, it's still a bit of a drive, but I'm close. I mean, I live right by Lake Michigan, so if I'm about 10 minutes away from the beach of Lake Michigan, and you could see Chicago over the beach. You could see all the fucking skyscrapers. I mean, far away, but you could see them, you know. But anyways, Chicago doesn't get enough credit for its metal scene and its contributions to metal. I mean, it's a variety. There isn't a Chicago sound. I mean, per se, like a particular one. Um, but yeah, like New York, it's just as big. I would imagine, secondary. But even now, there's shows every weekend of underground shows in Chicago. There's always something going on. But anyways, I we have this train that comes out here to the region and it takes you downtown Chicago. So we would me and my friends, man, we'd all get on the train when there was a show, or there's a tour coming through. So I saw Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Napalm Death. Saw a lot of big bands, and they play at the House of Blues a lot of the times. And but anyways, like there were some good fucking shows. So we would all get tickets and we'd fucking get on the train. This is when we were in high school. 16 years old. There's fucking 20, 20 of us. And or the train would make another stop and they'd pick up more kids going to the fucking Deicide show or something. So you'd be like a bunch of dudes in fucking leather and combat boots, and we'd all get off the train, start lighting up our cigarettes. A bunch of delinquents, man. It was good times. Fucking go to the show and then we'd all ride back, on the train together. I miss that shit. That was cool. I hope kids still do that. But yeah, Chicago's got a pretty good scene. I mean, Metal Threat's gonna be playing. I think this fall. I'm planning on going. I want to go. Or at least I want to see Destroyer 666. I really want to see them. At least the day they play. So I think they're playing on a Saturday. I'm gonna try to get tickets and go to that. I mean, you got Macabre, Cyanide, Impetigo, fucking. I think Broken Hope. I wonder if Broken Hope. I think Broken Hope was from Chicago too. Uh, I mean, those are some of the bigger names, but I mean, it's got a more like Reggie's Rock Club. If you look that up, I saw a lot of good shit there, and that place is always happening. I got to see in the fall or last summer, I think in August. Vomitory played. Yeah, some great shows playing in the fall. Yeah, these days, man, I'm lucky if I get out to one show. I try to see at least one show a year. Is my goal. If I'm lucky, two. But I got to do the Dead by Dog Fest with my buddy Mike V. I'm hoping my next thing is gonna be Metal Threat. Uh, and if I get lucky, another show pops up and I'm able to go, I'm definitely gonna try. Well, back in the day, man, I used to go up there all the fucking time, like every other weekend, and go see shows. Mostly just really underground bands. Oh, found your channel recently. Shout out from Nova Scotia. Hey, man, fuck, that's cool. That's cool, man. Cheers, dude. Fuck yeah, Nova Scotia. That's Canada, ain't it? I think that's Canada area. My geography is not perfect, but I think I know where that's at. Isn't that where the Vikings first landed? I try I try to keep geography in my brain where I kind of half-ass know where countries are. But yeah, man, fucking welcome to the channel, dude. I'll be I I'll be doing a. I just recorded a video for this week. I try to do a video at least once a week is my goal. So I got something coming up. I'm doing a little insight. I'm doing actually a giveaway. So uh, I was 211 subs what I was going for, but I fucking went beyond that. But anyways, I, I've been meaning to do this giveaway, so that's coming up, dude. So yeah, chime in for that, man. Good to have you, Joseph Fitzharris, man. Cheers, man. Thank you. And it's cool. It's cool. That's what I like about this YouTube stuff, man. Fucking back in the day, you couldn't. And Mr. Metalhead, I think you know about this. You couldn't even call out to like someone out of your state. It cost money, you know. So like to talk someone out of your area was, you know, a big fucking deal. So now we're all in a double. You know, the internet's a double-edged sword, but I think on the good note, you know, you get to talk to people from all over the fucking place and learn about where they're from and just different things. I think it's incredible. I love it. I think it's so cool. I love learning about different places and, you know, chatting with good people. You know, it's awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Yep, toll calls. Yep, man. Long distance, fucking yeah. If your friend moved to California, you're never gonna see him or talk to him ever again. And growing up, I had a few friends that did move away when I was in elementary school. Fucking never talked to them, never heard from them again. You know, now in the age of internet, you know, contact people, and it's cool, man. Because of this, I would not be talking to all you fine people. So I love it. Yeah. Oh man, Maine, here next to Nova Scotia. Yeah, man, I've never been up to Maine. I'd love to do a fucking trip up the East Coast one year, man. If I ever have the money or time, that's on a bucket list. I'd love to go up to, actually, yeah, just go up to like fucking Massachusetts and Salem area and just go take a drive all the way up the fucking East Coast along the, you know, the ocean area. Check out those fucking deep fucking small places. Um, Canada, yes. East Coast Vikings didn't land here. That's Newfoundland. Okay, next province. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was Nova Scotia. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, Newfoundland. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, yeah. Um, yeah. Cool, man. Corey, man. Good to have you, man. Fuck yeah. Um, never been to Maine, man. Like I said, I want to go up there someday. And speaking of East Coast, man, I'm drinking Narragansett Lager. I'm not sure if you guys get that up there in Maine, but they just started carrying it here in Indiana a few years ago, and I was excited to try it because of the Jaws movie. Yeah, bit dark here, man. Head back in. Had my smoke. Try to fall down the goddamn stairs. Go back into the jam room here. Do a little more fucking light. Getting hot off, get early. Doctor's appointment, definitely. All right, man. Yeah, Mr. Metalhead, man. Cheers, dude. Thanks for stopping in, dude. Good to have you, man. Thank you so much, dude. Cheers, brother. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna end this here. Just want to thanks to all you guys fucking stopping in and bullshit, man. Stay tuned. I'll be doing a video here real soon, probably this weekend. So, cheers, you all fucking rule. Thank you so much. All right, end this here.